215 Nutrition's Exalt is comprised of 3 performance blends. We put these blends together, we thought about hydration, mental focus, a pump. First of all, with hydration, we looked at the electrolytes. We want to make sure we have potassium, Himalayan sea salt, magnesium in this side of the formula. We looked at mental focus, we wanted to add things like neural factor and alpha GPC. We looked at the pump, we wanted to add things, of course, like Hydromax and Atrostogen. All these things combined is what I look for in a premium performance pre-workout supplement. These things combined will allow me to enhance my workout and make sure I'm getting a good training session after training session.
Welcome everyone to the Female Bodybuilding channel. And today we have someone truly special. We have 2020 Miss Women's Physique Olympia champion, Sarah Villegas.
How are we doing?
Oh, listen to this, Sarah. Listen to this.
The first place Olympia gold medal.
Can you hear it?
I can hear it.
And the title of 2020 Women's Physique Olympia champ. To our winner, Sarah Villegas.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to hear it for a third time.
So when you were standing there with Shanique, you were smiling, you were really confident. She wasn't as confident, but you didn't look at her. So what was going through your mind before Bob made the announcement?
You know, my mind was just blank. I was really just like waiting. Okay, say the name, say the name, say the name. Of course, those dramatic pauses, they feel like tenfold when you're up there on stage. And, you know, and then you just hear your name and it's like, oh my gosh, you know, just like overwhelming emotion all at once. And yeah, I don't really even know what I was thinking. I was just like waiting for the name, you know?
Could you see Ollie in the audience or your husband?
So actually funny, no, I couldn't. And so I'm there, I'm waiting and I'm just kind of looking around, you know, like I said, I don't know what I was thinking. And then I heard my name and I closed my eyes and then I open them up and the first thing I see is him right in the back, like with his arms up. And so I was able to find him. He was right in the middle. And then I like quickly looked away because I got like emotional. I got choked up. So I was like, okay, don't cry. You have to not look at him. So, but yeah, so I was able to see him like right out. He was the first thing I saw when I opened my eyes.
So I don't want to brag too much, but we planned this, correct, Sarah? We planned this. I told you and Ali last year this is going to be guaranteed win, correct?
we definitely said we were coming for it. So absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So let's go back. Arnold Classic. You were the favorite to win the whole show. You had an injury about a month. I can't remember. Was it a month out or?
Yeah, it was about 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, somewhere around there.
So then you watched Arnold Classic. You saw Natalia Coelho and Ann Moon, girls that were great. But what can we say? Your level is on another level. So you saw them win. What went through your mind for this Olympia prep?
You know, pulling out of the Arnold, it was heartbreaking for me. You know, that was the first time where I was, you know, I had to pull out of something because of things outside of my control. So it was really upsetting. Obviously, you know, I came off of the second place Olympia last year and I was, you know, excited and ready for the Arnold. And so it was devastating. So it was hard to watch in the sense that, you know, I wasn't there and, you know, you feel like that's, you know, I'm supposed to be up there. So that was hard to not be able to compete. Like I said, I really wanted to do it. But, you know, after that, it was kind of just like, okay, that's done. Now we got to focus on the Olympia. We've got one task in mind. We got to do everything we can to make it happen. So it was just, you know, I was all in and ready for the Olympia. So
did it make you even more hungry, do you think? Or what do you think? Not competing at the Arnold, or will you have the same mindset no matter what?
I think it was the same mindset no matter what, because, you know, coming off of that last year's Olympia, it was actually kind of funny. I got up off stage and, you know, you're excited and you got the second place, but, you know, Ali turned to me and he said, I want you to get that title next year. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And that was like, even right after the stage, we definitely celebrated last year, but we both shared that like eagerness of like, okay, second place is great, but we're not going through this again to get into the second place. We're coming for first, and there's no other option. So it was really, that intensity I think was always there. It just, like I said, the Arnold came before that. I really wanted to do it, but it's outside of my control. And once it was, once it had passed, it was like, okay, this is what we're doing. Time for Olympia.
Oh, I'm so happy. 2018, you were 10th, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. I got 10th
and then,
on my first Olympia, right.
You turned pro in 17. You made 10th in your first debut at Olympia. Then you got second. And remember, women's physique class has exploded the last 2-3 years with conditioning and talent. So, but you're just exploding right with it. And now, anyway, after final Saturday, Sarah, we had it was 4 girls. It was you, Barbara Minaj, Natalia Coelho, and Shanique. Were you confident there? Because you were in the middle the whole time.
Right. So I definitely did feel confident, coming into prejudging and then obviously coming out of prejudging, going into the finals. But, I'm that type of person where it's never done until it's done. And then actually we were lined up backstage and they were wrapping up the figure. And they said, okay, we're moving on to women's physique. And let me tell you, folks, it's a close one. It's a 1-point, decision at this point.
They told you this.
Say it again.
The judges told you this.
No, the announcer, Bob, was saying
okay.
So.
Okay, yeah.
So, and I heard that. And at that point, I knew it was between me and Shanique, but I just thought, okay, game face on. You got to give it everything you have. This is make or break. Just go out there, do your best because it's close and you got to take it home.
Oh, so when you won, Ali was celebrating. How was it after you won it, at the hotel or whatever you guys went? Walk us through the feeling when you were finally had some time alone with you and your husband or alone, looking at the check and the title. What went through you? Because it's a pretty quick ride, though. 3 years and you have the title. So still, what went through your mind? Emotions?
It was just a mix of everything. I'll admit, him and I, we were so ready and so prepared for the win. Everything was, execution and this and that, and your posing and your conditioning, and we had everything. We felt like so wrapped up and like watertight. And then when they called my name and now you're walking around and you have this Olympia title, we were not prepared for the aftermath of just so much, just encouragement and support. And I mean, my phone was going off like crazy. My Instagram was like, I had like thousands of messages, and like, you walk throughout the venue or whatever, and people are saying, how does it feel, champ? And so it really honestly wasn't until like a couple days later when we like got home and like had all the suitcases like unpacked, and it's kind of like, wow, you're Miss Olympia, you're the world champion. So really it was just so overwhelming. Everything was like a blur. It was really fast. So it really didn't set in until like a couple days later. And then even still now, sometimes I just like sit there and I'm like, okay, you are the world champion. That's a pretty big deal. So it's still kind of sinking in. It's just such, it's a humbling feeling. It's such a privilege and such an honor to be, awarded this title that you really like, sometimes you're like, wow, this is me, this is, but it's really, really cool.
It's special because we are a women's bodybuilding channel. We cover what women's bodybuilding, women's physique, and women's physique. We love women's bodybuilding, but women's physique, you got to bring the conditioning like crazy, you know what I mean? Because there's so many girls bringing the condition. You got shows with 30 athletes. You got girls from Latin America, Europe, Asia, like the whole world, It's to win this class in this COVID times and changed the venue, and it's just I'm getting JB. Are you getting excited listening to it, JB?
Yeah.
Yes. It's very prestigious. Shanique Grant made an announcement. She's retiring, or she's taking a break. What can we say? Is there something you think about? Is there anything you want to say on that, or?
Yeah, so I did. I heard, her video was forwarded to me, and I watched it, and I think it seems like she, thought out this decision, and she laid out some personal reasons, and I think that her decision and her reasons should be respected without exterior input.
Yeah.
Personally, I think maybe I foresee her coming back on stage, maybe even as soon as this year. I know maybe sometimes people can just have a lot of emotions after a show, and even I share some of those those thoughts that she had about family or bodybuilding taking away from kind of enjoyment of life, or whatever it might be. And I think as bodybuilders, we all have those thoughts sometimes. But this is what we do. This is our passion. We choose to be the 0.0001%. We do what the other 99.9% of people don't do, and we do it because we love it and we have passion. And I think that like I said, she has that passion. So I personally think she might come back to stage, like I said, even as soon as maybe this year. But if she decides not to, then that's her decision, and more power to it.
What's the plan now? We know nothing about what's going on next year. We know nothing. All we know that you're the champ. Your conditioning was out of this world. From the back, it's like something we never seen before. What's the plans for improvements, if there is any? What are we going to do? Because I know you're already planning for 2021 Olympia, whenever that is.
Exactly, whenever that might be. Well, first of all, thank you. I take it as a huge badge of honor to bring conditioning and to be known for my conditioning. It's something that Ali and I work very hard for, and he definitely takes all the credit for that. That's one thing that makes my prep so easy, is that I don't have to, when it comes to those last 3 and 4 weeks, I don't even have to think. He does all the planning. He's in the background, doing all these, specifics of cardio and food and diet and water and whatever it might be. And I just have to, follow the plan. So I'm really fortunate in that aspect of I just have to, just follow the plan. But there's always room for improvement. Obviously this is women's physique, like you said, so never having enough V-taper. At this point, I think I really just need to refine my physique and give myself a lot more depth. Of course, you can never have enough, sweep in your vastus lateralis, your outer quads, glutes. As a female, always good to have a dominant glutes. Shoulder caps, roundness, just I think overall, just development, refinement, roundness, and just come back and repeat that same conditioning. I am known for having consistent conditioning, and so just trying to duplicate that, but even just a little bit better for next year.
Oh, it sounds like even though your husband is not small like Phil Jackson, but this sounds like Kobe Bryant and Phil Jackson, but like, you know what I mean? It's like, I knew it because Ali is your husband. Is it, what's his last, Ali?
Tac.
He's so passionate. He's so, he's macho, but he's respectful. You know what I mean? He's, you cannot not like him. And he's also a big guy, so he's not a small guy, and you're so nice and like classy, and this is the couple we want to represent our sport forever, Sarah.
Thank you. That is such a huge compliment. And I know he shares in that graciousness as well. You know, it's just, and that's something that him and I have talked about, being an Olympia champion. That comes with a huge responsibility. Going back to when I was talking about I wasn't prepared for the aftermath, you know, my Instagram has been, and my Facebook has been full of just messages of these girls who either are just starting to compete or they want to compete. And they're just telling me, you know, their story of like, hey, this is where I'm at. You know, I really look up to you. You're such an inspiration. And that has probably been the most humbling aspect of this whole thing, is that knowing that there are real people out there who really look up to you and aspire to you. And they say like, you know, you embody what I want to be. And that's just, it's a little nerve-wracking because, like I said, it's a huge responsibility knowing that your actions and that your words are received and they are mirrored by people out there. But it's just, it's so overwhelming, it's so humbling, and it feels so good and so rewarding that, you know, it kind of gives you an added sense of purpose of knowing that you are a role model for all these people out there who just aspire to be who you are. So it's really, really cool.
Well, last thing, how are you? Because you're always hiding, Sarah. We went from show to show. As the Olympia Women's Physique champ, and think about all the kids now. What are we going to do now to get to promote you like never seen before and get you to inspire the millions and millions and millions and millions of young girls who want to be just like you? What change are you going to do? Because we want to see you every day. What's the plans?
So yes, yeah. So I, you know, there's definitely, I'm definitely being a lot more active on my social media. You know, putting more things out on my Instagram, because it is, it's encouraging when you put content out there and it's received really well, and so it's exciting, and it kind of, you know, it makes you want to post more and give the fans what you want, because you have also a duty to them to, you know, they. Like I said, they're so passionate and they're so inspired by you. So part of continuing to, you know, uphold that role is by showing them what you're doing and showing them how to lead the way. So, you know, definitely there's a lot of things that we have lined up to put out there and to just be more engaged and more active, because I think that the fans deserve that.
Mm. Well, thank you for your time. We are, well, as you can tell, I'm excited. I'm very excited. Female Bodybuilding want to thank you for coming on. It's a great honor to have the champ, the king, the queen of the world on. And we will be looking at your Instagram, and take us out with some nice words, Sarah.
Well, I just want to say thank you. It's been, you know, a huge year for a lot of people. A lot of people have had their different struggles and their different challenges, specifically within the fitness community in the Olympia, knowing if we would even have it. So, you know, I'm just so grateful, like I said, to be in the position where I'm at, to hold this Olympia title. I'm really, really thankful to all of the encouraging support that I've gotten, all of the encouragement and the congratulations. So I'm so, like I said, overwhelmed with emotion. I just couldn't say thank you enough. And my husband, Ali, he shares in that. And I'm grateful to him as well for having us come to this position where we're at. And let's bring it on 2021. And
JB, we are out.
So what does it feel like training on 015 Nutrition's expansion? It feels like that extra expansion, definitely. You get that extra pump in the muscles, that extra blood flow, and that mind-muscle connection as you get that pump. Just feeling those muscles get full and full and full. It's definitely something that you like to experience.